How are you? And I'm genuinely hoping that you're going well. Hope that over the holidays you managed to keep up some level of fitness and health, going for a walk, a bike ride, a run, for example, while we're still within these different staged restrictions. At the moment, we're not 100% sure what the roadmap looks like about returning to school. We know that the primary schools are allowed back, and those year 11s and 12s and any year 10 doing a VCE or VCAL subject is allowed back at school. And in terms of that year 7 to 9 and the rest of year 10 subjects, we're just waiting and listening to Dan Andrews every single day. Now, what we're doing this time round during remote learning for however long it's going to be is keeping that same split between PE and sport class focuses. So in the PE classes, it's going to be all about fitness. And in the sport class focuses, we want to really work on skill development. Now, we took you through the booklet last time, and some of the feedback was that by the end of the term, people were getting a little bored of the booklet. Some people loved it, some people didn't like the structure so much. So I think what I'm going to throw at you is just a standalone session today, which is all about movement, different movement patterns, and getting your body to be able to use a component of fitness called agility that we use in so many different sports every single time we play them. It may look different from sport to sport. For example, if I'm playing soccer in comparison to volleyball, both of those sports will involve agility. However, the soccer athletes will need to be able to use agility for longer distances, whereas a volleyball athlete, because of the confines of their half of a volleyball court, will use agility very different. And then if we look at for something like futsal, for example, that again will have a different looking agility component to it. So, what is agility? Agility is when an athlete, even yourself, is able to change directions and be able to maintain pace and control when you change directions. So, the faster and more accurate you can change directions, the better off you're going to be. So, what we're going to do is just a series of little activities here that I'm going to put into the lesson plan, but I'll show you a couple of them now to help you try and build and improve your agility. The way that you can make this harder towards the end of the lesson is if you have a ball, it might be a soccer ball, a basketball, a tennis ball, for example, a rugby ball, you can actually bring that ball with you. Now, if it's basketball, complete dribbling at the same time. If it's a tennis ball, you might want to throw it up and down in the air or dribble it. You might want to throw it against a wall and catch it as you're running. If it's a soccer ball, put it on the ground. You might even use your basketball as a soccer ball and dribble it with your feet. Now, if we were at school and we were working on something like this, we would be using cones. We would place those cones on the floor, we would run to one cone and change direction and move to another cone. Today, we're just simply going to use anything you have around your house. I've grabbed a few of my daughters, my wife, my old shoes, and I'm going to place them out on the deck behind me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to design my running pattern that allows me to move fast and change directions. I can weave in and out of the cones, or I can get to a cone and then turn left or turn right. If I have a partner, if I could get my wife or my daughters to come outside, or set up a Zoom with a friend in the class, we can actually help each other out by, as I'm running towards a cone, somebody yells out left or right, and I have to change direction unexpectedly to make this even harder. So, I'm just going to set up a few cones. Bear with me for one moment. And as you can see, I've placed these shoes probably about half a metre apart to allow me to weave in and out of them. I don't want to be stepping over the shoes for this activity. I actually want to run as if this was a pole, and you know what? You could even grab some chairs, like you can see the ones behind me, and place them and run in and out of those as if it was an agility pole. So what I'm going to complete right now is I'm just going to start at the first shoe. I am going to be making sure I turn my body, because it's about turning your body, not just moving your feet in and out. And I'm going to run up to the end shoe, turn around like a U-turn, and sprint back to the computer. That's just one example. Let's have a look. Now, you could change this. You could change this round where you change the distance in between the shoes. You can change this round where you make the shoes like a ladder and you're going to step in and out of each of them. So I'm going to ask you now, within the space that you've set up, grab pieces of paper, shoes, doorstops, stools, anything that you can, and create your own little agility setup. Have a read through the lesson plan, have a look at the things that we're asking you to set up, and really have a go at making this more and more challenging for yourself to make you change directions with accuracy throughout the duration of this lesson. You're being asked to take some photos of your setup, or if you could even get somebody else to take a photo of you running through your setup, that would be even better, and email them to your teacher. Thanks a lot.